Good morning, everyone. That was a rousing prelude. Thank you for that. I hope that we're all awake by now, and I appreciate that. I love that energy starting out the morning. And I want to say thank you to all of you for joining us here this morning at Unity Spiritual Center, Denver. If I haven't met you yet, my name is David Howard, and I am the senior minister here at this beautiful spiritual center. And it certainly is my pleasure to welcome you here today. Unity Spiritual Center Denver is a loving, welcoming, open, inclusive community, and we welcome you to be a part of our community, whoever you are, wherever you are in your life journey, wherever you are in your spiritual journey. We hope that you can find a comfortable home, spiritual home here with us, whether that's in person or virtually right now. So I invite you now to say our creed with me. Our God is love. Our race is human. Our faith is oneness. The reading I want to share with you today comes from one of my early spiritual teachers, Reverend Dr. Kay Hunter. I've shared several of her these readings from her book with you before. And this one, she always starts, children of the light. Children of the light. In the knowingness that is yours, you see yourself as the love of God expressing. For it is you, dear ones, each of you, that has individualized the power of God. You are the oneness expressing uniquely. You are the power that empowers. You are the light and the way. Allow yourself to be all that is God, and you will be all that God is: peace, love, joy, and harmony. And you will see that perfection, the wholeness, the completeness of which you seek, is not to be demonstrated in the outer, but to be known within. It is the kingdom of God in your here and now. It always has been and shall always be within you, within all. As you begin to accept the you see, you will begin to know the you God sees. The loving you, the accepting you, the joyous you, the courageous you, the oneness of you. And you will hear yourself loving you in a way only God can do. And so it is. In your change of attitude, it must be. And so I invite you now to join Anji Kat. We have wonderful Anji Kat with us today to be our musical inspiration. Join with her as she leads us into a time of prayer by singing Surely the Presence.
Surely the presence of love is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. I can hear the brush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of love is in this place.
So I invite you now to settle in where you are. Close your eyes if you're in a comfortable place to do that, and breathe deeply. Just following the breath as you breathe in, allowing that to draw your awareness deep into that place of knowing, that place deep within your heart space where the knowing of love abides eternally as your very truth, as the essence of you, knowing that God loved itself forward into expression as you. Know that you are that love expressing in this moment. Know that you are loved by the universal life force energy that we call God beyond your imagination. You are love, being loved, loving itself as the love that you are, awakening unto itself as the love that you are, the love that you choose to be in this life expression. Know, claim, allow, receive, be that love right here and right now. Just allow that love to fill you up, body, mind, and spirit. Know that you are the embodiment of God's love, universal love, unconditioned love, pure love. And as you claim that, as you allow that for yourself, I invite you to see that for all other beings, that we are love expressing right here and right now together. We are one in this energy, in this vibration of divine love. And we uplift each other as we choose to see that truth through our eyes, through our spiritual eyes and through our physical eyes. We see the truth, we know the truth for each other, and we especially lift into that awareness anyone who is on our hearts and minds today who might be experiencing some life situation or condition, some physical or mental or emotional dis-ease or imbalance. And we know the truth for each of them. We'll know it for them until they know it for themselves. And we are grateful in this knowing. For in this knowing, we are free to be the love that we are here to be. And we are grateful. We allow it to be, knowing it is so. So it is. Amen.
Choice each new day brings, and with every breath you take, bless the progress that you make. The reason you live is found in every gift you give. Love your life, love your dreams. You will do amazing things. places you will go, and the people you will know. Don't worry when or where or how. You don't have to know that now. You're on the right track. No need to look ahead or back. Just enjoy what this day brings. You will do amazing things. You don't have to work it out. Just stay in the here and now. Let your mind rest for a little while. Sometimes the deepest answers come when you're out there having fun. So close your eyes, take a breath and smile. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things.
Thank you so much, Angie, for being here. I just so much appreciate your voice and your facility with your voice. I'm just amazed by that, and so thank you for blessing us today with your beautiful voice and spirit. We are so blessed here to have such talented singers and such amazing musicians as part of our house band here with Martha and Scott and Nick. We are blessed. And so today, I just want to share with you something that I experienced recently, and something that it really awakened within me, something that was, I guess I know, and I've known, but it pointed it up for me in a very real and present way. Back in the end of last year, November and December, I participated in a 5-week virtual experience. I wouldn't call it a workshop or a class, it was more of an experience. It was entitled an Intention and Connection Experience. It was facilitated by Scott Stabile. Many of you might remember Scott. He was here back in 2019. I know that seems like a really long time ago now. Back in the fall, he did a Saturday workshop and he was a speaker here on Sunday morning. He's also the author of a couple of books called One Just Love and Big Love. So love is his focus, and he's known as a love advocate or a love warrior. That's one of the titles that he is sort of is assigned maybe by other people. But this is not intended to be a commercial for Scott. So, but anyway, if you see him on Facebook or Instagram, and check him out, because he often shares some very insightful, meaningful, and deep thoughts about love, about loving ourselves. So anyway, I chose to participate in this experience because I thought it would be a group of people who are coming together to help each other manifest a particular intention. And for me, it was about, somebody manifesting a book or a new job or a new relationship or maybe a new business. I thought that's what the group would be about. And I've been wanting to manifest on a book and really open up to developing and embracing other gifts and talents that might want to express through me. And so that's one of the reasons I chose to be a part of the group. And we were instructed to write out an intention statement before we began the 5-week process. So I wrote this intention statement about, it was a long one actually, about how I want to really embrace and develop and connect deeper with my own gifts and talents and what I'm here to give and how those gifts and talents can help people. And so that was what my intention was about. Not anything specific, but in my mind it was about, well, maybe this book or something else that might come from that. And during the first session we had, we were asked to read our intention. I think I was one of the last people to share. And there wasn't a large group of people. There were maybe 10 of us at most from all over the country. And actually there was one person from Wales who participated in the group. And interestingly enough, Scott, the facilitator, and I were the only males in the group. That doesn't really mean anything. I don't even know why I said that, but that's the way it was. And so I was listening to the intentions of the other participants in this group. And like I said, I thought it was going to be about manifesting a particular thing. But I was really taken aback as I listened to these people share from the depth of their being with such authenticity and vulnerability about their lives and what they were intending, what they wanted and what they wanted to, how the intention they wanted to set. And it was different things, but it was, one person was about recovering from abuse and reclaiming her life. There was another person in the group who shared about her intention was simply to bring more joy into her life after the death of 2 children. There was another person in the group who was focused on the intention of recovery from an addiction and being strong in that and learning about herself in that recovery process. There was another person who was experiencing illness. Another person had the death of a husband who wanted to just move through her own grief and come out and have her own experience of that and find a new normal, so to speak. And of course, there were a couple who were about a business and writing a book and things like that. But it was more about intending an experience about their lives, about our lives. And it was more about heart connection with each other. You know, it's interesting that we're all in this virtual world, and it's challenging sometimes to have that energetic connection with each other online or virtually. But this group really got deep, and we were with each other. And what it reminded me of is that a couple of things. That we are all moving through this human experience the best we can, dealing with life experiences, a loss, addiction, abuse, the grief, whatever it is that we might be experiencing. And you know, many of us, if not all of us, have experienced some of that illness, things that go on in our lives, and that we have that shared experience as humans. But the thing that really was pointed up for me in that group is that everyone in the group, to a person, beneath all of these other intentions and desires was the underlying desire and intention to love ourselves. To truly get to a place where we love ourselves, whatever we're experiencing, wherever we are in our life experience, in our journey, our spiritual journey, our earthly human journey, and that's something that we all struggle with. I think I can say that with assurance. I don't think I've ever talked to anyone intimately who doesn't struggle at some level with loving themselves. And what I recognize and realize in that is that whatever intention we have for our lives, that really is a foundational intention. That everything else sort of would dependent on that. The intention we have for our life, the desire we have for our lives, that energy of life that wants to live itself through us, that sees us, that experiences us, that is awakening unto itself as each of us, sees us as magnificent, experiences itself through us as magnificence and wonder and beauty and life. And yet, something about this human experience that we've learned that we're not to love ourselves and not to be in love with who we are. And so I thought about that more this week as I thought about what is it? How do we love ourselves? When we're going through these things that we experience, all of us, we don't all experience all of that, but how do we love ourselves in the midst of these things that we experience in life? It's challenging. Life is challenging. But how do we experience loving ourselves when we are experiencing such deep grief and loss? We may not have lost a loved one, but some of us have recently. Many of us have experienced loss this past year. Loss of connection with other people, loss of a job. It still brings up grief for us. Maybe not at the extent that losing a loved one or someone you deeply care about brings up for us. But there's still grief. How do we love ourselves in grief? Well, I think one thing that we do with grief, to love ourselves in grief, is to feel it. What would God, what would the source, what would that life energy that is living itself as us, as the reading said, you see yourself and experience yourself as God would see you, as God would experience you. And I can only imagine that in this grief, this voice of the divine would say, sweetheart, dear, beloved, of course, you're going to be sad. Of course you're going to be angry. Of course you're going to experience all of these things. Feel it. Be in it. Allow it. What we do when we feel grief sometimes, I think, is that we want to hide. We think other people don't want to be around us. People won't understand. And maybe they won't. But I encourage you, if you're experiencing grief, not to be around people who are going to try to talk you out of it. Not to be around people who say, well, you should just get over it. Or people who are not comfortable being with you in your pain, and I know that's challenging. But to love yourself in your grief is to surround yourself with people, or maybe just one person. Don't surround yourself, maybe it's just one person who can be with you in your pain, who can support you through it, and not try to force you to get over it, or not say, oh, you should just be over it. It's been a year since your husband died. Why aren't you over it? No. Grief takes as long as it takes. And I should have said this at the beginning of this talk, but it's coming to me now to say it. I'm not a psychologist, obviously. And I'm not here to give you psychological advice. I'm just sharing with you some of the experiences and I've had about how we love ourselves in the midst of these life experiences. How do we love ourselves when we are experiencing an awakening, a realization of some addictive behavior that we've been in? Or how do we love ourselves when we realize that and we get into a recovery process? I think addiction very, very often is a result of us not loving ourselves, or not feeling that we belong, or feeling isolated in some way. Addiction or behavior, escape mechanisms, I think is what I like to think of as addictions, escape mechanisms. We want to get out of the pain. We want to find something to alleviate our pain and suffering. Because we're not really in a place of loving ourselves. But speaking from personal experience, even when you get into a recovery process like this person was, it's challenging to love yourself when you get into a recovery process and you begin to look at how your behaviors, your addiction has affected you and how it's affected other people. It's sometimes challenging to continue to love ourselves in that space of, wow, what I did injured somebody, what I did injured myself, what I did cost me so much. But I would encourage us, if you happen to be in that spot in your own life, to know that you are worth that, to know that you can move through that, to know that God within you, the light, the truth, the voice, the mind of God, of love, only sees you as perfect, only sees you as whole, only sees you as maybe you forgot. Maybe you just forgot who you are. And now you can remember. Now you can remember. And if you find yourself in that place, seek the help. Find a group. It can save your life. Find a sponsor. Find someone to support you in and through that life experience. And how do we move through this idea of, what are some of the other things that came up in the group about, again, I'm not a psychologist, but I've talked to people and I know people who have experienced abuse. And that is maybe one of the most difficult life experiences to move through, to love yourself through. Because very often when we experience abuse, whether that's physical, emotional, mental, spiritual abuse from another person, it can make us believe that we're not worthy. We can take on this idea that we're not worthy, that we don't deserve love, that we don't deserve safety and protection, that we don't deserve, or that we deserved the abuse in some way. Again, seek the help that you need to love yourself enough to truly reach out and seek help. Seek the guidance. And know that there are hotlines available for you. If you're in any sort of abusive situation or relationship. I'm not laughing about that. I'm laughing about why I'm talking about this today. I'm laughing about why this is really coming up for me and why I'm sharing this today. Because I know that we sometimes want to hide those things from ourselves and certainly from other people. Especially those of us, I think, who are in New Thought or studying metaphysics or New Thought, and we think, oh, well, we're responsible for everything, or if I'm not living a perfect life, or if I have illness, or something's going on in my life that doesn't reflect bliss and beauty and wonder and love, then somehow I'm doing it wrong. And that's another way that we don't love ourselves, especially in this philosophy. I'll say to you now, you're not responsible for everything that happens in your life. You are responsible, but not everything that happens in your life is because you thought the wrong thoughts, or you think the wrong things, or that's what same thing, isn't it? Or you feel the wrong feelings. Life happens. What we have the opportunity to do is to respond to what's happening in our lives from a place of centered spirituality and knowing and loving ourselves. Again, that's another thing I want to share about that, illness. How do we love ourselves when we have some illness going on in our bodies? Again, when we think, oh, what did I do to create this? You didn't. Loving ourselves is knowing, this is where I am. This is what's happening in my body. How can I best love myself, nurture myself, feed myself, heal myself? Again, seeking practitioners who are there to help your body, help you and your body be restored to its natural flow of life energy. And making conscious choices to support ourselves. Eating well, moving, drinking lots of water. Simple things getting rest. Simple things that we know we can do, but we don't always do because we don't stop and really love ourselves. In fact, I think sometimes we don't love our bodies. We judge our bodies. How many of us go through life judging our bodies for one reason or another, whether it's because we don't measure up to somebody's arbitrary idea of what bodies are supposed to look like, how thin we're supposed to be, how tall we're supposed to be, what color our hair is supposed to be. And also I think that I know this, it's not that I think it, that we're very often taught body shame. Shame about our bodily function, shame about our sexual energy, that's bad and wrong and dirty. And so we live in this place of judging our body. Some religions even teach flagellation of the physical body because the physical body is bad and wrong. Thank God we don't teach that. To love ourselves, to love this body, to care for this body. It's the vehicle through which we are here to experience this life and to really honor our bodies and to honor who we are. Again, I want to go back to that reading. I just picked that up this morning. When I was looking for a reading for today, I picked that up. I thought, surely there's something in here. And I opened it up, and that was the reading. To know that you are loved and to see yourself as love God sees you. To see yourself as God sees you and to treat yourself with kindness and respect and honoring and love wherever we are in this spiritual journey. Again, I would say that we all experience these things. We all judge ourselves. And it doesn't come automatically to us. We're not taught, at least I wasn't, and I'm guessing that most of us were not taught to love ourselves. We were probably taught something else, like that's conceited, or you're full of yourself if you love yourself. We were taught that that's not good. So we're not taught that, but it's something we can learn. It's something we can practice. It's something we can commit ourselves to. And to recognizing when we're not. Where am I not allowing myself to have my feelings? Where am I judging my body? Where am I blaming myself for what's going on in my life? Where am I not feeling or allowing myself to ask for what I need, to reach out for help? Where am I not moving my body, or where am I not feeding my body, or what am I doing that is not life-affirming for me? And am I willing to make a different choice about that? And only you can decide that for yourself, and only I can decide that for myself. I like this interpretation, going back to a 12-step idea, I like this interpretation of the Serenity Prayer, this other, not interpretation, but this other version. Grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know it's me. I can change. I can choose. Again, it's a moment-by-moment decision. It's a moment-by-moment choice. Am I loving myself right now? If I'm not loving myself right now, what can I do to love myself? What can I do to nurture myself? What can I do to be kind to myself? I'm sure I'm not alone in that the way that we often talk to ourselves, the things that we say about ourselves and to ourselves, we would never, ever say to another person. Can we change our inner dialogue with ourselves? Can we be more kind, sharing loving, kind, compassionate thoughts for ourselves? I want to share with you, speaking of Scott Stabile, he gave me permission to share this with you, and it will be there on your screen as well. He asked us, each one of us in this group, to write a dedication to self-love. And I wrote mine, and we were writing pretty quickly. I didn't ever go back and clarify it or develop it in any way, which, again, am I loving myself by not doing that? I don't know. But I texted him yesterday, and I asked him to send me his, and he agreed, and I asked for his permission to share it with you. So it will be on your screen, and I want to read it to you, and I invite you to read it. And if any of you would like to receive it in writing, let me know. Send me an email at david@unitydenver.org, and I will send you a copy of it. I'll get his permission first, but I will. I'm sure he will be okay with that. This is what he wrote. I commit to loving myself with everything I've got, even when I'm inclined not to, even when my mind directs me otherwise, even when others treat me poorly, even when I'm exhausted and overwhelmed and feel like I have nothing more to give. Even then, I will give my love to myself because I am important and worthy and divine. I will love myself wholly, wildly, and without inhibition, because I understand that by doing so, I open my entire world to choices, connections, and realities rooted in this love I give to myself. By loving myself, I invite love into every aspect of my life, as well as the lives of everyone I encounter. I commit to loving myself because I am a being of love and function at my beautiful best when I live in, from, and with this astounding wealth of love I have to share. For these reasons, and for every other life-affirming reason that exists in this world, I hereby commit to loving myself with absolutely everything I've got. So I invite you to make that commitment to yourself, to set a very clear intention to love yourself, even when your mind tells you to do something else, even when habits show up, habits of behavior. Love yourself. Even when you don't love yourself, choose to love yourself through the not loving yourself, rather than judge yourself, rather than criticize yourself. Because I believe that as we move through this life experience, as we have these desires come forth and want to express through us, that we can disempower ourselves from the get-go when we don't love ourselves, when we don't acknowledge where we are, when we don't give ourselves the love that truly is the very nature of our being. And when we give it to ourselves, when we experience ourselves, it frees us up to really and truly give it to someone else. I've often heard it said you can't truly love another person until you love yourself. And I believe that's true. I can't really give the love I am here to give until I commit to and practice loving myself. And so I invite you this week to make a list of the ways that you can love yourself. Maybe make a list of the ways you find that maybe I'm not quite loving myself right here, and make a list of the ways you can love yourself and begin to practice those. You can love yourself by choosing to make the list of the ways you can love yourself. Take that first step. And love yourself with wild abandon. Love yourself the way you know that God is the love that you are. All right, so let's take a breath, take a moment, go into a time of quiet contemplation and meditation. As you once again just breathe, close your eyes if you're willing and in a place where that's safe and comfortable, and just breathe. Imagine as you breathe in that you're breathing in that love that is all around you. The energy of love just pervades everything, every space. God as love is all around you, like the air that you breathe, and just breathe in love and allow that love to fill you up. Allow that love to infuse every aspect of your being, your body, your mind, your spirit. Love is who you are. Love is what you are. Love is the very essence of who and what you have come here to experience and to be. So as you connect with that love, as you come into the full awareness of the love that you are, just see that love enfolding you. Wherever you are in your life experience, whatever you're going through, just see love enfolding you right now, right where you are, with no condition. Don't have to be anything else, do anything else, be anything other than what you are right now. And love is here. The energy of love. Right here, right now. So as we go into a time of quiet and silence, I just invite you to be with that love. See where it takes you. See what it brings up for you. See what thoughts come to you as you align with love. And so as you breathe in, just allow yourself to know it is that love that is all of the potential, all of the possibility, all that wants to express through you. It's grounded and founded in this love that you are. Love expressing as you, for you, through you, around you, in you. And just feel yourself grounded in love, right here and right now, right where you are. As you make that inner commitment to self-love, to being kind to yourself, to speaking words of encouragement and support to yourself, for reaching out for the support that you need from someone else, loving your body, feeding your body healthy food and water and moving the body, honoring this vessel that you are, through which you are here to give and to receive love. So breathe into that. Ground love through the bottom of your feet. Know that you are loved, and you are loved beyond measure.
I am possibility. I am possibility. Possibility. I am possibility. I am possibility. Infinite possibility. There's no limit to what can be. Every dream is reality. I am possibility. I am possibility. Possibility. I am possibility. I am possibility. Infinite possibility.
So now's the time in our service where we have the opportunity to express that love, to share that love through our gifts, our tithes, our offerings. So on your screen there you will see some ways that you can do that. We so appreciate all of you who continue to support this ministry. We are surely blessed by all that you share. And if you're new to us, if you're finding us for the first time and you'd like to share, we welcome that as well, and we appreciate your honoring of that exchange of energy. So say with me now our offertory blessing. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am grateful.
Bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. I'm through crying, I'm through waiting, I'm through hoping against all hope. think I finally learned. So bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. I'm through grieving, I'm through dreaming that the life I had is ever coming back. No more wishing on someone else's star that'll never be mine. I think it's finally time, so bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. I've survived many times before, broken hearts and slamming doors. I'll be alright, yes I will once more. Just as I did back then, I'm gonna rise again. So bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. Bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new.
Thank you again, Angie, for being here. Again, we are just so blessed by you and your spirit and your voice. We're just so grateful that you are here with us this morning. And we're grateful that you are here with us this morning, or whenever you might be tuning in to watch this service. We are so glad that you shared part of your energy with us and your day with us. So now I invite you to join me as we say our closing prayer. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and so it is. And now join Angie as she leads us in our closing song.